we got a balance patch yesterday that we haven't talked about yet, so I thought we'd talk about it. Also, if you don't know, you can open the chat, and up here, you can just click here to view the patch log, which is pretty cool, right? You don't even have to stop what you're doing, which I think is really nice. So while we're farming in the background, let's go through and take a look, because some of it applies to us. Our tree Electromancer got a little bit of some attention. The light Popo Rider, rather, got a little bit of a change, which I think a lot of people seem upset about. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second as well. And then some other stuff that we'll go through and see what they did, because I haven't actually looked at all the details yet. So what do we got here? Unstable device now has a 30% effect accuracy bonus, which is nice. That's quite a buff. Just that much easier to land the bomb now. Damage multiplier went up for forked lightning. And then attack all enemies. This is just dark. Attack all enemies, remove all buffs, and apply 2 turns of burn. When burns are successfully removed, when buffs are successfully removed, rather, apply 1 turn of stun. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I mean, that's nice. I'll take that. Just easier to land the bomb. Focus a little bit more on attack now. The nurses, I think I have the fire nurse. So the fire nurse didn't get touched here, but let's see. Local anesthesia. The cooldown time has been increased by 1 turn. All right, I guess that seemed like a problem for them. And then for the dark one, 6-star effect, additional attack bar decrease, and decrease cooldown by 1. So they get a little bit more love at 6-star. If you click the unit, can you see it here? No, okay. Dark Man at Arms. When the enemy's health is reduced to below half, no longer gains a turn, but will instead increase the action bar by 100%. Interesting. Previously, the turn effect of this passive could cause other teammates to lose their turn effects, such as the water sharpshooter's quick quiver or the dark ant cannon's ultimate absorb. Interesting, okay. Additionally, the issue where the skill incorrectly increased the enemy's action bar has been fixed. Fire engineer robot. Using the skill requires consuming 30% of your HP, but HP will no longer be deducted due to burn. Okay. Interesting. And then Popo Rider. Let's see exactly what got done here. Fix the issue where this skill's damage increase effect was calculated twice when attacking targets that are immune to inability. The skill was incorrectly configured with 2 modifiers that increased damage by 40%, resulting in a final damage of 1.4 times 1.4. Okay. After the fix, the skill will correctly increase damage by 40% against targets that are immune to inability. We will issue 5 5-star evolution cartridges as compensation to all players who own a 6-star light Popo Rider. Perfect. I think that's great. And that's not even, I wouldn't even really call it a nerf. They're just fixing something that was wrong with the unit. And everyone that I know that was running a light Popo Rider has said that the teams still work fine. So I think you'll see this a lot in mobile games, right? Anytime somebody gets nerfed, especially someone that people are using like this, nerfed again in quotes, I think some people will just always be upset when a unit that they own is changed for the worse for any reason, right? Without it, like I think there were people upset about it before the patch even went through because they knew it was happening. But no, this needed to be fixed. If she wasn't working correctly, then it needs to be fixed. And the game's like barely a week old, right? We're going to run into a few issues like this occasionally, and units are going to need to be fixed. If they're broken, they're going to need to be nerfed or buffed. It'll get there, right? We got to give them a little time. We can't really be upset about stuff like this, especially when they're fixing an error. So, and then on top of that, all the teams that I know, all the people I know that were running the teams are still working. So I don't even know what there is to be upset about. But I think this is perfectly reasonable. If she was messed up, then fix her. Feature update. New hyperlinks on the miscellaneous page allows players to access the community. Yep. So yeah, if you don't know, there's a few new tabs in the game, and one of them is in the, was it the store? I think it's somewhere in the store. You can go in and you literally click to visit the Facebook page, and I think you get 2 summons, and you click to visit the Discord, and I think you get 2 summons for that as well. It's the same place where you collect the promo codes. So yeah, the shop and then the miscellaneous tab, it's in there. And if you're iOS, you might not even know that exists because you can't do promo codes on iOS. So if you don't know, actually, I think we just finished our runs. I'll go show you real quick. Let me get out of here. We really need like an auto sell. Auto sell gear. Maybe it exists already and I just have overlooked it. If it does, let me know. But yeah, if you go to supply and then miscellaneous, and then you just click this button and click this button, and you'll get yourself a few summons. All right. So pretty handy. Pretty handy. What do we got here? Workshop. The help button has now been added, which can be clicked to learn more about the detailed settings of this feature. And then a new challenging quest unlocks the workshop. Yeah, also worth going through and looking at your challenges because they did add a couple of things in here. So it's worth going back through and making sure there's not something you could easily go complete. I got like, I think I got 6, I think there were like 5 or 6 batteries in there for me to claim last night. So make sure you go in there and snoop around, see if there's anything new and easy for you to do. I like this. I like this. Players below level 40 bypass the 12-hour guild transfer cooldown. I think that's handy. Makes it a little bit easier on us as leaders to manage because I've got a waiting list of people that want to get in the guild. And having to like babysit and manage that 12-hour thing on both ends is tough. Like it's annoying for the person that has to leave their guild and wait for 12 hours. And then it's annoying for us to have to like manage it and remember who's doing what. And I think this is fine. I think that's a pretty reasonable solution to that if you want to have the cooldown. And then now you can only remove 5 people per day, which I guess is fine. I guess that's fine. I don't really understand it. I've never understood it, but fine. All right, for battles, fixed a bug where targets stunned by bombs still showed their skill bar. I have had an issue or two where I've changed turns and I've had the previous unit's skills showing. Maybe it was a bomb. I don't really remember what triggered it, but I've only seen it like twice. Haven't seen it a ton, but I guess it must have been a bomb. Burn will cause HP now to be deducted at the start of skill casting rather than after the skill. I like that. I think it should be before. I think that's pretty nice. And then due to changes in attributes or skills, all battled records except Lost Tunnel will be cleared for replays. All right. And then here it looks like we've got a lot of like issues. Fix the issue where the boss's size was enlarged by 10 times on certain devices. That would have been pretty funny to see. I like this. I noticed this change. The number being added to the gear panel makes it a little easier to know where it goes. At first glance, I dig that. Casing mode now only applies to Elemons that have reached level 60. Oh, right. That's where yeah, okay, the speed thing. Cannot be correctly obtained. Adjusted positions of some buttons in the gear management interface. Really? Have I noticed that? Where? In here, maybe? I guess I don't. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention initially. I guess I don't know what's different there. I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know what's different there. I'll take their word for it. Where were we? Fix the issue. Chat channels. Good. That was necessary. For the most part, it's been pretty cool. But of course, there's always going to be a couple of people that are like just being ridiculous. So this was good. This was necessary. Dungeon strategy interface to showcase more diverse team compositions of 2 teams. I think that's good. I think that's really nice. I was browsing through those the other day just to kind of see what was working for people, like if there were any trends. And there was a lot of situations where like it was the same team, Same team for safe, same team for fast, same, like, it was like, okay. So I think that's a good move. I think that's nice. Safely exit. I had a thing where I think I've had my game crash one time in all the time I've been playing. I think and I might have been streaming, but it like froze. And when I came back, I had in my inbox like rewards from, maybe I was doing multi-battles or something, I don't know, but I had all my stuff in my inbox. I remember thinking it was a nice way to deal with that. So that's pretty cool. And then apparently something has been updated on it in the update, so. This is a great change. You don't get stuck behind a mission if you've already purchased something, which I had done. I did get stuck once or twice in the missions doing something like that. I think this was a fantastic change to the UI. I did notice this morning. It now shows you what the buffs and debuffs are on whatever skill that you're hovering over. So you can get that information right there. That's nice. And yeah, pretty solid patch, I think. I think Light Popo needed to be fixed if she was broken. I think there's some interesting changes here. I'll be interested to see how frequently they do this and to what extent they do this. Because this varies very heavily from game to game, you know what I mean? Summoners War, I think, tended to do pretty regularly scheduled balance patches, and sometimes they would shake things up pretty substantially. And then you have a game like Raid that almost never does them. And when they do them, they're typically very minor. There's been a couple times where they've made some big changes, but they usually do a balance patch. It feels like every several months, and it's like a handful of units, and a lot of the time it doesn't really matter. So it'll be interesting to see what the formula is going to be here for Element Fission, but I think it's pretty decent. I think it's good. I think they're pretty transparent. I've started to. They have opened up a content creator program, so I've started interacting with them a little bit. They seem like they're going to be really cool to work with, and I'm interested. I'm excited to see how it continues to develop. So I guess that's it. Let me know what you think about the patch. I don't have Light Popo Rider, so I can't speak to like the feeling of the impact. But again, everybody in my guild that was running her and in my Discord, I haven't seen anybody say that their team doesn't work anymore. So it seems like the team still works. She just had an issue that needed to be dealt with, and then they've done some nice little quality of life stuff here and there, adjust the UI a little bit, and yeah. What else? What would you like to see? What are some quality of life changes you think the game needs soon, like in the next patch or two? Because I think there's a few things. I'd be interested to know what you guys think about like what the game needs kind of immediately. So that's it. We'll go ahead and get out of here. I just thought it might be kind of fun to take a look at the notes. So that's it. Have a good one.